This model exercise. This is section 11 of 11. My lucky number is 13. I should probably create 2 more lessons to get us to 13. But then again, some of you might not agree that 13 is a lucky number. So we'll stick with 11 for now. So this one, at any given time, at least 10% of the Gray Matter membership are thinking about the potential of starting something new, or they're wondering how they could possibly pursue something that would bring them more happiness, and then that leads to, what if I were to pivot and do something new? So this is based on exercises we use in the community, and it's really basically about, how to identify what you're good at, how to contrast that with what the world needs, and where people might pay for a solution in that space, right? So whether you're launching a solo practice, whether you are buying into or buying someone out who is looking to retire, or whether you are exploring some kind of side business, this tool will help you sketch your way into something real. And even if it's just a little bit of revenue as an experiment now, and then it becomes a bigger part of your life right now. I have a member right now who works in kind of, I guess, primarily sales in the beverage world. And he is in the process right now of buying an established power washing business. And when he first brought it to me, he's like, "You're going to think this is stupid." And then he told me what it was. And I said, "Why in the world would I think it was stupid?" And he's like, "Well, because it's a power washing business. It sounds a little bit like something we would have done coming out of college." And I said, "Really?" I said, "This power washing business comes with 2 counties worth of customers, pre-existing, right? There's an upfront investment and so forth, which he's trying to work through and so forth. But now he takes over an existing book of business for 2 counties worth of customers in his state." Well, let me ask you all a question. Can AI take away that power washing business? It cannot. And the idea that he could take over this business, have it sort of run largely independent of him for a couple of years while he continues to do his other job, makes tremendous sense to me. So that is what the startup business model exercise is. And no, I'm not suggesting you all get power washing businesses right now, but the simple fact is, any idea is potentially a good idea. So what are you good at? What does the world need? What are people willing to pay for? Right? And let's get your brain working on that. So you'll go through a little bit of an exercise about sort of unpacking what you already bring to the table, right? You'll think about what kinds of things that you're really interested in, right? And then we'll turn to AI to help joust with you to generate potential opportunities, right? And you may look at a bunch of them and say, trash, 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 maybe, trash, trash, maybe. But what if it's trash, trash, maybe, trash, trash, oh my God? That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Or, you know what, I never thought of that, but I'd be interested in exploring it further. So then, like the members of Gray Matter, we would go to our personal advisory board, we would all talk it through and so forth. I suggested to him that he might actually want to talk to a couple of the members of his advisory board to see if they want to help him buy into the business, or if they have any interest in being a part of it, right, on an ongoing basis, because maybe one of them is out of work and might be, the kind of person who's like, "Hey, listen, I'm not going to buy into it, but I'll run it for you." Maybe that's an opportunity, right? But in the event that you're not, you don't have a network group like the membership community here, find, a couple of people and take these ideas to them and get their thoughts, get their reactions. And then, think about like, well, okay, so what if I bought, you know, something from someone else or bought into something that someone else is running? Or do I have to build this from the ground up? And what does building it from the ground up mean, right, from a cost standpoint? And the one benefit I will say about AI is, especially if this is a sort of more digital business, there's a lot you can do with AI instead of having to spend a lot of money to get other people to do things for you. I mean, just as an example, and this is more of an upskilling conversation, but it's also, about running your own business efficiently. I needed to create a landing page to offer the newsletter for Gray Matter out to people. And I largely knew what it needed to say. I knew what needed to happen, right? A landing page needed to be created. It needed to be designed. It needed to have copy. It needed to have calls to action that connected into my Gray Matter community from a digital standpoint. Um, well, I spent 3 hours on a Sunday learning how to vibe code my own landing page that looks very similar to the website for joingraymatter.com. And I did it in half of a day on a Sunday. Now, doing it again would take me even less time than that. So that's what I mean, right? If you are building a business from the ground up, don't get overwhelmed by all the many things that you might have to do, because there are shortcuts to getting a bunch of those things done rather quickly. And I offer that your goal is really just not scaling up some business, but just creating a little bit of proof. Does this have any vitality? Am I excited about it? What would be the minimum viable offer that I would put out in the world? And can I charge for it? If I charged for it, what would I charge for it? Right? Who do I know that might benefit from it? Let me talk to 5 people and just get a sense for what they think. What's the scrappiest way that you could get one client in the next 30 days or one customer, whatever your tool is? Okay. So that is the exercise. The task when I say like, hey, let's start the business model exercise, is not to come up with, you know, uh, the next NVIDIA, right? Or the next, Salesforce or something like that. It is literally just to start something that could fit your life, that could light you up, that could create an opportunity for you to move forward. So, let's build it. Let's get paid, right? And then let's do it in a way that, excites you moving forward. So I wish you luck. I look forward to hearing what you think about the exercises and the prompts that I threw in there for you. And I wish you all the best.